Have you ever had that feeling, deep in your gut, that something is just wrong? A primal instinct screaming at you that you're in danger, even when everything on the surface looks perfectly fine. Back in 2011, a user on the infamous forum, 4chan, who went by the name Anansi, shared a story he swore was absolutely true. It's a story that has lingered in the dark corners of the internet ever since. A chilling reminder that sometimes you should listen to that gut feeling. It all started on a camping trip in the sprawling, dense woods of rural Alabama. A classic getaway for a group of teenagers. A remote cabin, a weekend of freedom, and miles of wilderness separating them from the rest of the world. The first day was exactly what you'd expect. They hiked the trails, the sunlight filtering through the thick canopy of leaves. They swam in a cool, clear creek. As night filled, they gathered around a crackling campfire, roasting marshmallows, telling ghost stories, and laughing, their voices echoing into the vast darkness. It was perfect, it was normal, but that normalcy was about to be shattered. The second night began much like the first. The fire was lit, casting long, dancing shadows around their small clearing. One of their friends, let's call him Tom, volunteered to head back into the woods to gather more firewood. He was gone for a little while, maybe longer than you'd expect, but no one thought much of it. When he returned, dragging a load of branches, he dropped them by the fire and rejoined the circle, and that's when the first seed of unease was planted. Something about Tom was off. It wasn't anything you could immediately point to. He looked the same, talked the same, but his laugh, it sounded hollow, a fraction of a second delayed. The way he moved, his posture, it was just a little too stiff, a little too deliberate, like a puppet trying to imitate human motion. Anansi noticed it, a small, prickling sensation at the back of his neck. He glanced around at his other friends, but they all seemed oblivious, caught up in the stories and the warmth of the fire. He tried to shake it off. Maybe it was just the shadows, his mind playing tricks on him in the dark. As the night wore on, the feeling wouldn't go away. It grew, gnawing at the edge of his perception. The group was in high spirits, sharing another round of spooky tales, and that's when Anansi, compelled by that persistent sense of wrongness, decided to do something simple. He counted the people around the fire. He let his eyes drift casually around the circle, counting each head silhouetted against the flames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He froze. He counted his friends again, more carefully this time. He knew exactly how many people were supposed to be on this trip. And the number was wrong. There was one extra person sitting there with him. His heart began to hammer against his ribs. It felt like the air had been sucked out of his lungs. He tried to stay calm, telling himself he must have missed. He did it a third time. Slowly, deliberately, focusing on each face. All his friends were there. He recognized every single one of them. And yet, the total was still one too many. The math simply didn't add up. How could that be possible? He risked a glance over at his girlfriend, trying to catch her eye, to send a silent, desperate message. She looked back, her expression initially one of confusion, but then, as her gaze followed his around the circle, he saw the moment it clicked. Her eyes widened in pure, unadulterated terror. She had seen it too. She had counted. Now that they knew, they couldn't unsee it. The extra person, it was sitting right there among them, nestled between two of their friends who were laughing and joking, completely unaware. In the flickering, unreliable light of the campfire, it looked almost human. Almost. But the longer Anansi stared, the more the illusion crumbled. Its proportions were subtly distorted. Its neck seemed just a little too long, its limbs a little too thin. When the group laughed at a joke, its own laugh came a split second later, a strange, wheezing echo that didn't quite match the joyful sound of the others. It was a flawless, yet terrifying, mimicry. The thing, whatever it was, seemed to sense his attention. It turned its head slowly, and its eyes met Anansi's across the fire. Its smile was too wide, stretching unnaturally across its face. Its eyes were dark, like polished stones, and they reflected the firelight in a way that human eyes just don't. A cold dread, sharper and more intense than anything he had ever felt, washed over him. This creature was trying to engage with him, trying to draw him in. He leaned over to his girlfriend, his voice barely a whisper, his words trembling. "We need to leave." Now, they didn't dare cause a scene. They couldn't risk alerting their friends, or worse, alerting the asterisk thing. Asterisk. They made up a quick excuse, muttering about feeling sick from something they ate, and stumbled away from the fire towards their tent. Safalin see they zipped the flap shut, plunging themselves into near-total darkness. But they couldn't shut out the sounds. They could still hear their friends talking and laughing outside, their voices carrying clearly through the thin fabric of the tent. But underneath it all, there was another sound. A sound that didn't belong. It was a quiet, intermittent noise, something between a dry wheeze and a low, guttural chuckle. It was a sound that was profoundly, fundamentally not human. They didn't sleep a wink that night. They sat in the dark, clutching a hunting knife, their bodies rigid with fear, listening. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves sent a fresh jolt of adrenaline through their veins. They just waited, praying for the sun to rise. When morning finally came, painting the sky in shades of gray and pink, the world outside their tent seemed eerily normal. The strange, unsettling sounds were gone. Peeking outside, Anansi saw his friend slowly waking up, stretching and getting the coffee ready. The extra person was gone. The group packed up their camp in a subdued silence. The cheerful energy of the previous days completely vanished. Nobody mentioned anything unusual. It was as if the night had been a shared, unspoken nightmare. On the drive home, as the familiar sights of civilization began to replace the endless trees, Anansi counted his friends one last time. The number was finally correct. The extra one was gone, but the relief he felt was overshadowed by a chilling question. Was one of his friends missing? Had the creature taken someone and he just hadn't realized? He counted again. No, everyone was accounted for. The creature had simply left. Years went by, but the memory of that night never faded. Anansi couldn't shake it. He eventually did some research on the area where they had been camping, and what he found sent a shiver down his spine. He discovered old, local legends. Stories passed down through generations about a creature the old-timers called the Goatman. The tales described a shape-shifting entity that could mimic human appearance, but never perfectly. It was known to infiltrate small, isolated groups of people, observing them, learning from them. And sometimes, according to the legends, when it left, someone from the group wouldn't make it home. Anansi still doesn't know for sure what he and his girlfriend encountered that night in the Alabama woods. Was it the Goatman a doppelganger? Inya, or something else entirely? Something ancient and unknown that lurks in the deep, dark places of the world. He ended his 4chan post with a stark and terrifying warning that resonates to this day. He believes the creature is still out there, and it's patient. It can wait years for the right moment, the right group, the right camping trip. So, if you ever find yourself deep in the woods with friends, and that little voice in your head starts whispering that something is wrong, listen to it. If a friend seems just slightly different, if the atmosphere feels heavy with an unspoken dread, do one simple thing. Count your friends. Count them carefully. And if the math doesn't add up, if you count one too many, don't wait. Don't rationalize it. Just leave. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more tales from the dark side of the internet and folklore, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe out there, and always remember to count.